Hello, the channel. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. In a good mood after a great result for Scotland last night. I'm on the Coke Zero today because it's a school night, but it is my birthday as well. So there we go, 21 again. What can I say? No jokes in the comments, by the way. Anyways, yeah, I really enjoyed the result for Scotland last night. Absolutely amazing, like sensational to be going to a World Cup. Some incredible goals, but this video obviously is about Celtic, Challenger, and all the good stuff that's happening this weekend. So I don't really know where to start. Actually, there's just so much going on. We've got duos, we've got Challenger, and everything. So I think what I'm going to do just a quick run through where we are with the missions, and then we'll go on to the preview. And probably a wee bit early to be building teams, but I do want to get some drafts done this week because I've got quite a lot on round about Friday. I do unfortunately have a funeral on Friday morning. Wasn't anybody too close, but bit of a sort of overall family friends. So I'll have the teams updated to Friday morning, and then if there's any late news, one of the other guys might step in and obviously update things. So in terms of what's happening connection wise, we've got the League One duo running. See if we can try and hit that 380. Nobody hit it, I don't think. The first one, there was a bit of carnage there, but we'll go again. La Liga, I have used QTN's link for this, but I will be playing it with a really nice team, which I'll show you in a minute. So I'll put together a team which is about €100. Quite confident that will hit the 380. I have shared the link to La Liga duo on X as well. And for Eredivisie duo, you'll see if you've been following the channel, I've been playing that quite a lot. I've hit 380 lots of times. I think I've got 4 teams now for Eredivisie, so I can't participate in that myself, but I've shared the link to that as well. And you'll see I've used QTN's link for La Liga, and someone's actually used my own link as well, which is much appreciated. I actually got one for the Eredivisie as well, so thanks the Frank Engine and Chris Urquhart as well. So in terms of what's happening in the play section, I'm really enjoying these missions, etc. Actually pretty good. So La Liga haven't played all season, lineup set now, so hopefully get some cash back there. Bundesliga limited back to streak 2. So snakes and ladders in, you get away up the top, then you get way back down the bottom. We were nearly at streak 3 or 4 there, but never quite hit it. MLS, obviously having a Messi helps. So on to streak 3 in limited, which is for $20. Challenger is the real quiz, as David Brent would say. Streak 5 for $500. So the real dilemma about this, if I'm honest, Celtic are away at St Mirren, which I'll cover in a wee minute. There's no Portuguese teams this weekend, but I've decided I'm going to have a go at it. I'll explain why in a wee minute. Eredivisie, I'm actually on for streak 4. Is that right? Yeah, streak 4. So limited wise, hit the first 3 streaks, on for $100 for that, which would be insane. Yeah, and then the other ones were still at the start. The other thing to point out with Challenger is Celtic delivering in huge fashion, obviously. So on for streak 4 for $400 and rare as well. So it's a really important weekend. So that's why I'll be focusing a lot on Challengers, and then we'll come back to the La Liga team, what we're doing in France, etc. as well. MLS $100. I mean, this has been doubled, right? So $100 for hitting the first streak is mega. That is really good. Good move from Sorare. And Eredivisie hit the first streak there as well. So on to the preview. So what I've done is, first and foremost, I have filtered this down to Challenger teams, okay? Because that's really important to me this weekend. Then we'll look at the overall overview of things and what I've done with, obviously, La Liga. So thing really stood out for me. There's no Portuguese teams, the cups. There's no Sporting, no Braga, no Porto, no Benfica. But Galatasaray have got a really good game at home. 2.68 expected team goals, 50% clean sheet percentage. So that's quite a good one to stack. Kakir got a rest the last game for Turkey, so I don't think there's any real reason why he would be rotated. Obviously, you've got to watch a wee bit with the predictions because guys maybe away in international duty, etc. Maybe Davison Sanchez or others flying halfway across the world. But there we go. North Island against Frederica is one that will not really, people might not have thought about, but Frederica are really poor. 2.34 expected team goals. North Shilling, there was some talented guys. Prince Amawako, Rosh Kier, I think, is the midfielder. Caleb Yerenkey. The goalkeeper's actually pretty good this season. He's doing a bit better. So there we go. That's food for thought for Challenger. Rangers against Livingston. Well, I'm not buying any Rangers players, but if you're going on for streaks 4 and 5 or whatever, I wouldn't put anybody else off doing that. Obviously, I'm a Celtic guy, so I'm not buying Rangers players. It's not happening. Hibs against Dundee. Pleased to see them there. To expect team goals, 49% clean sheet percentage. So Salinger, some of the defenders might be a shout. McGrath, is a midfielder, could be a shout. He's on the penalties, etc. So there's some options there. Got Mitch Island against Sonderski. Mitch Island, really quite impressed with them recently. Depends what streak you're on, I guess, because guys like Franklin Yoju never really do big hundreds or anything. Not like an AA guy or anything, but really reliable if you're trying to piece together a team. Salzburg, I think, pretty interesting. I don't think they're really one that you want to stack this season. I mean, even getting 5 starters is going to be difficult, but you can throw in a few of the attackers. 1.95 expected team goals. Celtic away is against Mirren, covering a wee bit more detail in a minute. Kasper Schmeichel will be in the huff after that result at Hampden, probably. Anyway, Fenerbahce against Kayak Rizspor. 1.85 expect team goals, 40% clean sheet percentage. So yeah, you could go with like Ederson and Skriniar, etc. Guys like that. So those are the sort of standout fixtures. Got some reasonable clean sheet percentages in Italy as well for teams like Lazio, Roma. If you've got some of those guys you want to slot in the last challenger slot. Inter Milan against AC is a classic game, but not really brilliant. Or could be, I suppose, but yeah, it's not really a standout fixture like you would get in Portugal or whatever. So we'll have a look at the Celtic prediction, then we'll come back to the main overall best fixtures for the weekend, and then we'll have a wee look at what we've done with La Liga, etc. there as well. And remember at the end, we're going to draw the Andreas Andrade. So the last video for the nearly $8,000 one, which was insane, giving away an Andreas Andrade for that. I need to remember that myself. There's so much going on, honestly. Anyway, I've said that already, so I'll shut up now. So, Celtic prediction. What's happening with this? Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney were confirmed 2 nights ago to be remaining in charge for now. So, it does look like Celtic are in discussions or rumours of discussions with Nancy, who is the manager of Columbus Crew just now. The reason I'm highlighting that is because obviously if someone's appointed like 2 hours after I do this video, somebody else comes in, then they could want to change the formation or the setup of the team. As I do this video, I think that Martin O'Neill and Maloney will be in charge, and that's the way I'm proceeding in terms of the percentages. If you see big changes in the percentages on site and you have any questions about that, then please do drop me a line in the video, drop me a line on X. Subscribe to Sorare Insight because you get all updated information in there as well. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. So, Kasper Schmeichel, I still think he's 90% to start. Martin O'Neill and Maloney have not been messing about with selections there. Sinisalo obviously is up and coming goalkeeper there. He's been making noises about wanting to play. I think that's more noises to the club in terms of Schmeichel said he would reconsider his position at Celtic in January or February, so whether or not maybe he would want to discuss another extension and what he does with his career. He's coming towards the end of his career, obviously, so there's that. Kieran Tierney, the discussion between Kieran Tierney and Kasper Schmeichel is going to be interesting in the changing room after that absolute worldie Tierney scored in the 93rd minute. Tierney's in his 90%. You'll see on the injury and recovery status that Srirachi's got a hamstring. So he's out. So Tierney just has to start. Liam Scaldini, brilliant for Ireland. A wee bit worried about his minutes. I mean, Celtic have played a lot, but he has a centre half and he does seem to be able to cope with that. But there will be a point where maybe he'll have to be managed a wee bit. Celtic have got Carter Vickers out at the moment. Simpson Pusey's never really hit it off in terms of coming in and getting right into the team. So I guess that there could be some minutes managed for Scales and Trusty at some point. But yeah, Let's see when. I still think they're the centre back partnership under this managerial team. Simpson Pusey started the last game. I think Ralston will come back in. Ralston was carrying an injury, so Simpson Pusey looks like a centre half to me. McGregor and Engels in midfield works pretty well, and I just don't see why Martin O'Neill would change this. I don't know exactly how, if it's Nancy that comes in, he's going to play, or it might not be him. Celtic might extend O'Neill further and look for another manager. Benji Nygren played a bit for Sweden over the international break. He's really been the first choice in that position over Hatate, so I think he'll start. Tenekte and Maeda have really been the first choice wingers. And Johnny Kenny, kind of the only choice up top. I mean, I don't think Ian Acho is back yet. I haven't put him on injury status because I haven't seen anything, but I think he's still out. And Maeda's not really been playing through the centre under Martin O'Neill. So that's a prediction at the moment. If there's any news, etc., of managerial changes, anybody out, anything else happening, then I'll get that updated before Friday morning. But hopefully that gives people a guide to do your initial drafts for the teams. We've had a look at challengers. I'll be really Celtic heavy. I was mentioning earlier, this is a big dilemma for me. Obviously, streaks 4 and 5. I'd much prefer a Celtic home game, but Celtic then play in Europe, then they play Hibs away. I'm not just going to sit out multiple weekends and just give up all that ROI of potentially winning individual game week amounts just to wait for what I think is the best fixture for number 5. You know, I think that, for example, St Mirren lost 3-0 to Hibs at home, so while St Mirren are a good team, you know, yeah, you could have easier fixtures and the other team just scores or whatever, so there we go. So right, that's it. So I'm going to be playing Challenger this weekend. I'm going to be going quite Celtic heavy. I'm going to be running in some Hibs guys. I'm going to be using some Galatasaray guys. Maybe a wee bit of a risk, but that's what I'm going to do. So, next port of call is the overall preview, and then we'll come back to individual players for Challenger, individual players for La Liga, what we're doing for the duos. So, we've got Bayern Munich against Freiburg. No real surprise there. Bayern Munich have been sensational this season, 2.75 expected team goals. Galatasaray we mentioned. Beijing, Guan and Allianz are not really licensed. We've got PSG against Le Havre, playing the League One duo. I mean, obviously PSG have got a lot of injuries at the moment. Hakimi's out, etc. So there could be some cheaper backups to go at there. It's a really good fixture, but calling the lineup's pretty hard at the moment, I must admit. PSV against NAC, so that's one I'll be targeting in the Dutch League. So obviously going on to Streak 4 myself, and we've got the Dutch League duo there as well. So I can't participate personally, but you guys can participate. You can get $50 if you hit 380, and I hit 380, but I've got a lot of PSV guys, so I'm really pleased to see that. Ajax as well, I've got a few guys there, Kenneth Taylor, Gods, I think Satalo, etc. So that's pretty good actually, 2.39 expected team goals. Leipzig against Bremen, Feyenoord against NEC. Not the best clean sheet projection, but 2.35 goals is pretty good. Got Real Madrid against Elche, look like the best one in La Liga. La Liga's a bit wide open this season, I think. I mean, Barcelona and Real Madrid have been good, but there's a lot of other teams performing pretty well too, and you'll see when I get back to my team, I've went with some Villarreal guys and some Betis guys as well. We've got USG against Cercle being the best on paper fixture in Belgium. Interesting one with like Bruges, like Vanaken played both international games, played a lot of minutes, so will some of the bigger teams have to actually be a bit more aggressive with the rotation at some point. Liverpool against Nottingham Forest, everything's on this weekend, and the EPL is just incredible. 2 expect team goals, 41% clean sheet percentage. That makes me happy as well, having some Liverpool players, so that's good. Barcelona against Athletic Club. If you've got Barcelona players, great. I've not been playing La Liga, so as I said, I've used QTN's code. Hibs against Dundee, I mentioned earlier. Chengdu might have the odd smasher like Romulo, etc. for contender, although I think he might be injured, so be careful on that. Dynamo Zagreb look like they've got one of the best fixtures in contender, so against Varazden, that's how you say it. 2 expect team goals and 47% clean sheet percentage is pretty good. Not been that reliable this season, but yeah, I mean, I think they're still best team in the league. Darmstadt are there. Club Brugge mentioned earlier. Villarreal against Mallorca. I think that's a pretty good fixture. So I think Mallorca have got some pretty good players as well, like Mojica, etc. But 2 expected team goals, 42% clean sheet percentage. But their goalkeeper, Luis Junior, he looks like really good. Salzburg mentioned earlier. Got 20 against Volendam. Unnerstal actually kept a clean sheet. That's a bit of a surprise. There we go. Kept a clean sheet the last game. Genk against Mechelen, so a good fixture for the Belgian league. So I think I'm going to be playing everything now. I feel a bit like QTNC plays like everything and just get a lot of top limited. But yeah, I'm just trying to think like what I'm not really not going to be playing now. Like yeah, I think it's going to be everything. Arsenal against Spurs, that'll be a good game. London derby, nice. I think Gabriel might get injured, so that's a bit of a problem for them. Betis against Girona. So again, Girona were really leaky this season, so I'm going to be targeting like Anthony, Lo Celso, guys like that. Hertha Berlin against Brunswick, pretty good fixture. Celtic against Mirren, so it's unusual to see Celtic that far down, but still a pretty good fixture, right? 41% clean sheet percentage away is not too bad at all. And then we've got some other fixtures there. Borussia Dortmund against Stuttgart, that'll be a good game. Don't think it's brilliant for SO5. Chelsea against Burnley might be pretty good. Lille against Paris. And St Etienne against AS Nancy. That's not Nancy that's signing for Celtic, by the way. But yeah, it could be a good fixture as well. Picked up some St Etienne guys recently as well. Nothing else really standing out, but I think that covers the main fixtures. So I want to have a look at specific players to drill this down a wee bit because often people are looking for recommendations. So I want to show you why I've done what I've done with La Liga and obviously have a look at some players for Challenger as well. So in terms of who was really sort of standing out here, Dario Osorio's got a projected 90, which is really huge, and a projected AA of 16. So they've got expected team goals of 2, so that makes a bit of sense. Martin Boyle there projected 90 at home against Dundee, pretty interesting. So not guys that immediately people would think of. I mentioned him earlier, but Nicholas Roche here with projected 89 at home. So he's a guy who's not that expensive. I think he might, don't quote me on this, but I think he might have taken some of the sets from Nygren when he left. If not, he's just putting in incredible AA, but I think there's something in that. And Nasser Dejiga is a Rangers player, so I'll not talk about him, but yeah, if he starts, then that's a good fixture. We've got Jamie McGrath, mentioned earlier, projected 83 on penalties at home. Dundee do concede a few goals. Hibs do score a few. I think that's a good combination there. We have Sam Larsson's interesting one appearing there. Some familiar names here as well. Dominic Baumgartner. Not a lot of people will be surprised about that if you're playing this region. And then as we scroll down, Galatasaray, I think I missed Sarah there actually. Where is he? I'm sure Sarah appears somewhere on here. I think he's in the 70s. Carter Vickers is out. So, Kizaridis, yeah. Kizaridis away from home for Hearts, but yeah, he's on some corners, etc. Puts in some AA in terms of the dribbling, etc. It's pretty interesting. Kieran Tierney, pretty set to start. Ankerson's an interesting one for Nordsjælland, really strong defender. So he's not one of the younger guys, so a bit more reliable in terms of AA. So Celtic players starting to appear. Gabriel Sara is a projected 70. I knew I had that number in my head. You could mix in some guys from Italy, guys like Federico Di Marco, if you want to mix in a classic card. Hansen's there as a goalkeeper for Nordsjælland. And Franklin Jew there, but projected 69. Salinger projected 68. I think Hibs do concede a few chances, so you could get some AA there, etc. as well. So food for thought and Challenger. I hope that helps if you're going to be playing that division. We'll have a specific look now at La Liga and Eredivisie because they're the duos obviously for this weekend. So first and foremost, La Liga. So you'll see why I bought Lo Celso, for example. He is only 70%, but projected 91, and I think he's on all the sets and everything. Doesn't say set pieces on here, but I'm pretty sure he is. I don't know when Isco's back, but I think he's sort of in and amongst the squad, but not fit yet. But Isco might take that back from him. So there's a bit of risk, obviously, picking up guys like Lo Celso. But there we go. I think the guys I bought, Luis Junior, I bought Santiago Mourinho, who's projected for 43 AA at home. His scores have been incredible. So I went with Junior and Santiago Mourinho, sorry. I've gone with Lo Celso and Anthony, who's been brilliant at Betis. He's on corners as well, so projected 83. And I picked up a bit of a sort of more left field one in Nicolas Pepe. I had a look on. He does take some corners, and I think his expected assists this season have been quite high. I had a wee look on SofaScore and everything through some of the stats. So put a team together of good players from there. You'll see that they've got higher projections this weekend than Barca and Real Madrid. So if you go, just buy a Real Madrid. You could obviously just go buy an Mbappe, right? But Mbappe costs more than the whole of the team I put together. So we're trying to do this in a reasonable budget. It's not like a case of, oh yeah, let's just spend $500 to guarantee getting $50. Try and do it in a reasonable budget. There's some other interesting guys there, like Alberto Moreno, who's a cracking player, Arda Güler, but some of these guys who are a bit younger are a wee bit more expensive. You could go for maybe like a Dani Olmo, who might not be as expensive as some of his other Barcelona players. I think Joan Garcia is going to probably be back, so he's will have shot up in price already. Cucho Fernandez, interesting one. As I said, if you've got the money to buy a Jude Bellingham, then go for it. But, we're trying to do this on a reasonable-ish budget. Miku Atadze is an interesting one. Nobel Mendy is an interesting one. He's quite a good player. Luis Junior there, I don't know why he's only at 70%. The guy's been class this season. Maybe he's been away in some sort of international duty or something, so keep an eye on that. Abdi Ezaluzi is quite good. I like him. Young's been good. He's been scoring quite a lot of goals this season, but not high real projected score there as well. Okay, so that's the La Liga stuff. I'm going to show you the team just for visualization. And that's what you'll be pairing up with in the duo. I've gone for like one quality team at the moment rather than going for buying lots of guys. Just sort of fancied like just going based on the fixtures this weekend, try to hit it. So that's my League One rare team, which I put together with Mike Penders. We bit of a budget team. Donham wasn't really that expensive. And that's my La Liga team. So defensive stack: Lo Celso, Anthony, Nicolas Pepe. I do fancy that my captain choice was kind of between Mourinho, because he's got a high projected AA with the defensive stack, or Anthony. Girona have been really leaky. I sort of preferred Anthony just because Lo Celso was 70%, and Nicolas Pepe I think will have a good game, but he's not been having good games recently, so he was only like a fiver, so that was kind of interesting. Then we'll come on to Eredivisie in a minute. These are my MLS teams. I've already built these for the streaks. I had to have a look ahead because sort of running out of players at this point, so I've taken a wee bit of risk in Ryan Gold. Like, obviously it's a difficult fixture against LA, but we're getting down to the sort of, not dregs, but there's teams out, so even if you built your roster, you might have to pick up one or two guys. Pellegrino was like a quid for that rare. He's in mad form, him, so bit of an ROI on that one, which would be really good. Let's have a look at the Eredivisie as well, because that's the last of the duos, and then can hopefully get everything all wrapped up for around about half an hour and pick the winner of the Andres Andrade. So Eredivisie is the other duo. I'm already playing this, so I can't use anybody's links, so apologies if you message me and you want me to pick up the link. I can't do that. I've already been playing. I do have probably 3 or 4 teams in here as well, which is quite interesting. And let's see who are the highest projected scores. So Joey Veerman will be on here somewhere, surely. Yep, there he is. 79. Guy's insane. I mean, honestly, like, sometimes you look at these things saying, oh, I'm buying in November. Will I buy a Joey Veerman? Will I buy a Smasher? But these guys are just brilliant for the streaks. So if you're going to play it really seriously and it's not outrageous amounts, I'd say just go for it. Obviously, it can cause you a bit of an issue once you get up to Division 1. If they're the ideal guys and people have 14-15% cards, but you just got to plot your way around that. So Calvin Twig with projected 85, that's a bit unusually high. Tagliani with a projected 84, so enough for me to say. You go for my birthday beer soon, I think. A lot of these guys I'm not really 100% sure are going to start yet either. Guys like Sam Lammers who don't start. Briam's injured just now. Cy Barry with a projected 80. So, Cy Barry with guys like Dennis Mann, Veerman. PSV do tend to concede, so I quite like going with somebody else with them just as a bit of a differential. But there we go, you've got Marco Renti there with a projected 73, pretty interesting guy. Scores quite a few goals. Jess Hornkamp, guy with the porno star name, been banging him in recently, no pun intended. Gasariovsky, again a good guy to put in a stack, but I don't really find any success putting Kovar in stacks. He just looks rubbish. But I think it's a combination of he's been making mistakes and doesn't face a lot of shots at times, so doesn't really get any AA and then just concedes. So yeah, maybe he'll hit big soon. We've got Marco Renti there. Wee bit surprised Micah Schwezen's not been playing for Utrecht, but guess when guys move, you've got to wait for their chance. Jaivaro Reed, really interested one. Mauro Jr. as well, been excellent this season. I don't know what his start percentage is, but he's been class. Really good. Walid Old Cheek is not a name I know, but he's there and he's got a reasonable projection, so that's quite interesting. The guys like Yuri Bass, Quentin Timberback, Etienne Vassin. So if you're looking for an alternative stack, you could go like Vassin and Rente. That would be one sort of good way to go. You could use, I guess, some 20 players and hope that Gunnarsdal actually makes some saves for the second time this season. But Ramiz Zaruki's been pretty good for them. And Oscar Glock's been doing pretty well for Ajax as well. Mika God's there. Amahodzic, maybe for Feyenoord. So guys like him and Watanabe could be quite good. Sam Steen. But on a sort of more of a budget, you might want to come in with more guys like, Rente, etc. I think Go Ahead Eagles are playing Heracles, so you could go like Debussy, Joris Kramer, Melly Mullenstein's been good. Briam's out, obviously. I'm not saying that Go Ahead Eagles have got a brilliant fixture or anything, but Heracles aren't really that good, so it could be a reasonable chance of a clean sheet there as well. So that's nearly half an hour. So when we had that huge week, I had that huge week, as I keep saying we, but I always think of the channel of it's been sort of part of this. You guys watch and like to do some giveaways and give some stuff back. So there you go. That's the La Liga buys there. I think it was about €100 they cost in total. Rog Kyer I bought after having a look at the sheet. Jerry Debussy I bought myself, so not just talking rubbish there. And Andreas Andrade I'm going to be giving away as well. Okay, so we'll have a look at the video and we'll call out the name and then we'll get that given away. So basically what I've done is go back to the comments. What I like to do is just flick through, sort of look at the camera and then just impose a stop time. We could go into doing numbers and try to count it and everything, but I just like to keep it as random as possible. The only criteria was that you watch the video and you put your Sorare username on there and you hit the like button, so there's no obligation to do anything else, okay? So we're going to scroll down just now and suspense. Stop. And at the top of the screen, it is Zildrax. Oh, Zildrax, top of the screen. Screenshot. What a game week, well deserved. Well, mate, well deserved to you. You have won. Andreas Andrade. This guy scores extremely well. Not only that, I think he's going for about €20 or something. 13, 14 quid. Look at his scores, like that's really good scores. He's a good SO5 player. They go for about 12 quid. That's public offers, but instant buy 18 quid, so about €20 in terms of some of the instant buys and auctions. Obviously, you're not gonna. Well, you might resell them. You can do what you want with them. I'm going to send them to you. So there we go. So congratulations and thanks again for watching. So in terms of what's going to happen from here, I'm going to do some crafting, some giveaways soon. As it's my birthday today, in the next couple of days, I'm going away for a couple of days. So I'll be away at the weekend, etc. I will be back by Sunday, so I should be able to get a preview up for midweek with Celtic playing again. Then we'll just see where it goes from there. Anyways, Thanks for watching again. There's loads on this weekend. Still got the League One duo running. La Liga has started. Eredivisie started, and I'm going for those streaks 4 and 5 in Challenger. Celtic are playing again. Everything's running. I'm going to have to go and get some drafts done before my head explodes. I'm going to get a beer from the fridge. I'm going to sit and enjoy my birthday with my family. And then later on, I'm going to draft some teams and get ahead of the game. Thanks again for watching. Blend in customary fashion, as we always do. Good luck and go for it.